Hi, I'm Jackey Neyman Jones, and I'm here to teach a class on, today is Rainbow Tree. Now, this is my first recorded class, not my first time trying to record, more like my third time trying. So we'll see. This time it's just going out no matter what. So hope you like it. Um, I've given you the list of all the materials and everything, but I'll just show you. This is my plate, and I've got my primary colors, red, yellow, blue, and then white and black, and that's all that's in here. Even though we have all the colors, we're going to do our own blending. Now, at home, if you would rather have all the colors, then go ahead. For me, when I teach these classes, which I've been doing live for, gosh, I don't know, at least 6 years, but I find that more than 5 colors on my plate starts getting too busy. So anyway, that's why I do it this way. Now, before we get started, I'm going to have Marci Vertner, my friend here who does meditation. We're going to do a little grounding exercise and get ready to paint. And then at the end of the class, she'll be back so that we can reflect on the experience we just had. We'll let Marci take it over. Let's do some breathing and some meditation, and then we'll begin painting.
Hello, nice to be here. This is my first time recording a meditation. I've been meditating or instructing off and on for about 10 years. But the purpose of this is to clear your mind and enhance your creativity, give yourself a break, and just kind of be in one and be in present time. As most meditation people I've worked with, I kind of go into a channel trance mode. So let's begin. The first step is, and this is very abbreviated, if you're interested in more details, email Jackey and we can do more, we can talk. But very basic, go ahead and find a comfortable place to sit in a chair, feet flat on the ground. The reason for that is for your feet, because there's energy centers on your feet and your hands. Don't cross your ankles or cross your hands. And from the center of your head, let's close our eyes. Have your hands comfortably sitting on your knees. And close your eyes and go to the center of your head where two lines meet. The first line from the front of your brow to the back of your head. The second line from the top of one ear to the top of the other. Where those two lines meet, visualize a gold ball of energy the size of a golf ball or a walnut and breathe. And from the center of your head, allow that gold ball of energy, your own highest information, expand and clear your mind to be present. Push out the noise and chatter of the day, the week. Call yourself back to here, right now, right for you, making a place for you to enjoy this painting and your creative process. And breathe. And from the center of your head, take a nice big breath and visualize your grounding cord. Your grounding cord is located at the base of your spine, connected to your first chakra. Allow your grounding cord to be 6 to 8 inches in diameter. Go through the chair, through the floor, lock to the center of the earth where your name is, and breathe. And from the center of your head, say hello to yourself as a spirit and a body, and notice the response you get of that of an old friend that is happy to see you and wondering where you've been. And from the center of your head, validate yourself for making time for yourself and honoring your creative process and giving yourself a moment to relax and enjoy. And from the center of your head, when you're ready, open your eyes at your own pace and breathe. And I'll give you back to Jackey now. Thank you.
I always enjoy that. Whew. So, well, read. So these are your paints, your paint colors, and I use pretty much any decent quality acrylic paint. I like these, and I use a lot of these that I get at Walmart. So you can get them online. You can get them at Walmart, any craft store. But I use acrylic paints. They're easy to wash up, and you can get all kinds of colors. So I have the basic primary colors, white and black. And then I have a set of 5 brushes. And in my posts, I give all the links, or on my YouTube or wherever you're seeing this video, you'll find links to purchasing the materials and the tools that you need. What else? Oh, you need some water. I'm a recycler, so any plastic container, I save them, and that's for my water, for rinsing my brushes, and a paper towel, which I seem to walk away with. Marci, will you hand me the paper towels? It's nice to have somebody here to help me. My assistant, but my assistant's going to be painting along with us, which also helps because then I know I have a living person in the room. I'm better in front of an audience than just myself. Oh, and right before we start, let's see. I want to show you what the next paintings are going to be. So if you like this one, great. And if you like my other ones, I hope you come back and paint again. This is going to be the next one that I do. And then the one after that, the beginning of October, I'll give you this one so that you can do this for Halloween. And then this one will be after that. So you see, I'm thinking ahead. I hope you come and join me. All right, let's get started. Rainbow tree. Now, generally, I don't even put the black on the plate because I'm always afraid I'm going to bump it, just the slightest bump, and it messes up your colors. And I usually don't use the black color until the very end of the painting, but for some reason I'm on a different kick now where black is the first color that I'm using. So you'll need enough of it, but try not to hit it with the other colors later. My paints, the lid gets stuck.
I noticed that.
Yeah, well, I'm not the cleanest painter. Oh, by the way, maybe you want an apron. I'm not wearing an apron. I generally get paint on many of my clothes, but this is what I do for aprons since I teach classes live, and I'm a recycler, as I said, for the water. I go to Goodwill and I get men's shirts and then I change them and I turn them into an apron. See? Just like that. Once I taught a class and I had these, and at the end of the class, the woman actually unbuttoned the whole shirt. And I was like, you don't have to unbutton it, just untie it. Yeah, well, that's okay. All right, so first one thing I'm going to do is I take the middle size brush about like this. And they don't have to be exact like mine, but let me tell you with the brushes, main thing is you need a nice size brush that you can get the whole canvas one color if you want to, something a little smaller for a little more detail, middle one, and then I go down to a smaller flat one. And then at the very end is just a smaller like liner brush. You can go smaller than this, you can go bigger. Just try different things. So it's my middle one. And I'll dip it in the water first thing and scrape it off on the edge. So, I'm just dipping it and scraping it off. So it's as wet as it can be without dripping. And then I'm going to scoop up some of the black. And as you can see, I've done 2 samples of this tree, and I go, a little more than half to 2/3 up before I start my branches. So I'm going to kind of get an idea here. And by the way, you can please pause the video at any time if you need to go get something, or because I'm going to go pretty fast. My in-person classes are usually 2 hours, and we'll probably get through this in an hour. So don't think you're going to keep up with me. You might. I don't know. Not if I don't stop talking, right? So I'm going to start about 2/3 up. I can always go higher. And then I'm just going to go like that. That's one side. Isn't that pretty? Oh, there are things coming up. See on my, well, this is not going to be perfect. My Facebook apparently is on and gonna keep, notifications. And so then I'm gonna go on the other side, but I promise I'll get better. You saw the next 3 paintings after this, so I'm already committed. Or should be.
I can't wait. I love those.
I know, I'm getting better. Now I have my new studio space. It's so liberating. All right, I've got to that point now. You can keep going with that brush. I'm going to go to my next smaller brush because you can always make the branches fatter and bigger, but it's you can go smaller too. You just have to wait for it to dry and then paint the white back in. But anyhow, I'm going to try to avoid all that and just get it the way I want it the first time.
Which brush?
So the second to the smallest brush. And you can see I've done 2 different versions of it. And the one thing I try not to do, although I did it here, is be too even. Does that make sense? I mean, we're looking for balance, but most trees, if you even paused right now, went out and just looked around, very few of them are very symmetrical unless they were groomed to be that way. So I'm going to start on this side, and I love wavy lines, so branches are not straight. Well, not on this type of tree. There's so many different kinds of trees. So this one I'll go up a little higher, and then I'm going to go right off the edge. And the other thing is, I do, odd numbers. I try not to do even numbers because you'll create your own balance out of odd numbers. But so, 3, 5, 7. But of course, when I say that, then the next thing I do, it'll be really symmetrical. So no hard and fast rules here. I'm just telling you how I do it. And so from this branch, I'll now go off of there. And I can see that I'm going to want to make it a little wider. The other thing to do is to kind of curve out your connections so that you don't have such a, sharp line in there. All right. And, your branches do not have to come off in the same way mine do. This is just an example, but the more you do it, see, it starts like filling out. I love this. Now I'm just feeling like I want to calm down just a little bit, so I think I'm gonna go like that and round off my connection there. Ooh, liking it. All right. Now I'm gonna let it. Well, I'm gonna keep doing other things while this is drying, but I may come back and add another layer of paint there just to fill it in a little bit more. Now I'm going to go with my smallest brush, a little tiny brush, and create a couple more branches. Now one thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to come back after I do my background and add even more branches. You can see that on this. I start getting into smaller branches. I'll probably do it even more on this painting because it's my fourth time doing this one, and I just don't like doing things the same way more than once. Oh man, that made my teachers mad in school. They didn't like that. Too bad. Also, you've got your edges on your canvas, unless you're working on a canvas panel or paper. But you have to decide, are you going to take it around the edge for the branches that come off? Are you going to paint it around the edge, which is cool because then you can just hang it on the wall as is? Or you can paint the edge in a solid color when you're all done, which that way you can still just hang it on the wall. Or you can buy a standard frame. This is a 16 by 20 canvas, but I think this one is 9 by 12, I think. Anyway, whatever size canvas you choose. No hard and fast rules, it's art. Now, I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to do more with my tree after the background, and you'll see. But this just helps me define where the colors are going to go. Normally, I would never put the foreground first, but I'm doing things a lot differently lately. I'm in my second, third, fourth childhood. I don't. So rinse your brushes, wash your brushes. If you have a sink nearby, that'd be nice. At this point, since we've been playing with the black paint and it's such a strong color, you probably want to change your water out. I just happen to have a sink right here, and which is super handy. It's the first time I've had a studio space with such convenient water. I love it. So anyway, should have sink envy. Okay, so my brushes are clean. I'm still kind of waiting for that background to dry, but this is a good place for you to pause and allow your background to dry, your tree to dry. But because I'm who I am, I'm just going to get started and try really hard not to hit my wet black paint and pull it in to here. But even if I did, I'd make it work. So I'm starting with my blue down here, and then I'm going to move up into my red, which is, I mean, this thing is like kind of a sandwiched rainbow because I'm starting at the top, but at the bottom. Anyway, that's too much explanation. Yeah. But I mean, when it's in the sky, it usually starts with the lighter colors, yellow, it goes yellow, green, blue, red, purple. Hey, I think I got it right. And it's all starts with those three primary colors. You blend those together and you can get just about anything. Okay, so I'm going to start by picking up a little of the white, the second to largest brush. I'm going to pick up a little white on my brush, and then with that, I'm going to scoop up some blue. And then I'm going to start near my tree, and I'm going to go like this. Oops, dripped a little bit, but that's okay. It's okay unless it's dripping on somebody's carpet. Okay. And I have a lot of paint on this brush, so. And I like the wavy lines. You can go straight. I mean, just. And also, like I said, if you're going to go around the edge, then make sure you do it with all your colors. Otherwise, you can just do a solid color. Okay. Just like that. Which means I have to do it on the bottom too. That's another thing to think about when you're painting is if an angle is hard for you at some point, feel free to turn your painting around and work in different directions. Now I got a whole lot of paint on my brush the first time, so with my napkin, I'm just gonna wipe off some of what's left. And then I'm gonna pick up some of the red. I'm gonna scoop up a little red. And I'm going to overlap my blue at the top here. And you'll see. But start blending it together a little. And then you have purple. See?
Oh, that's
Isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. And I like, up to you how much you want to blend it, but sometimes when it does these extra little things, I like it a lot, and I just let it be. Now, acrylic paint does dry very quickly, so you have to keep your brush pretty wet, and you'll know when it's not wet enough to start dragging. You'll see when you need to add more paint. Okay, I don't know what happened. It started going blurry, and I'm not able to review it right now. So anyway, bear with me. This is free. What are you gonna do? You're my guinea pigs. Or if you know anything about the movie I was in as a kid, Manos, the Hands of Fate. Look it up. It's really bad. But the guy who created it, one of the things that made it so bad as a low budget film was that he'd say, "We'll fix it in the lab." So, I know I can't fix it in the lab. So let's carry on. I got confused. What was I doing? What brush was I using? Okay. So now I have my purple, and I'm going to pick up, which brush was that?
It was the
biggest,
second to the
second to biggest. That's what I was thinking. I cleaned it off so well while I was distracted that I breathe. Meditation techniques. Okay. So I'm getting my brush wet again and scraping it off on the edge of my water. I'm going to pick up some red paint and I'm going to go right here. That's pretty. Oops, dripping. Be careful. I got it too wet again. So see, you can't be too hard on yourself. I'm screwing up all the time. But that's some of the best things I've learned and techniques have happened because of mess ups.
How to fix the boo-boo.
Yeah, right. But if you're not happy with it, get your rag. I got some drips going on here. I'm just gonna there. Flood it a little bit. All right, too much water. So you got your paper towel. You can blot off your brush. I'm going to pick up some more red and go over what I've already done. Now I don't want too much red. I want just a little bit. I'm not going to wash my brush off. But now I'm going to pick up some yellow. And I'm going to go partially on that red. See?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll pick up some more yellow without washing my brush. And I start getting some orange. Ooh, it's getting exciting. I love color.
And how it mixes. That's the best.
Yeah, the blending. When I get into it, and when you get into it, it's like meditation in itself. That's why I thought these things would go so well together. And I'm glad that Marci wants to be part of this. So it helps me too.
I get to paint too.
Yeah, she gets to paint.
The meditation does bring a better feel to it.
There we go. All right, so I want to lighten it up before I start going into more colors. So I'm going to pick up just a little bit of, I'm going to pick up some white, and I'm going to go over the top of this yellow to make it a lighter yellow. And you can see on this little painting, I did a whole different technique, and I did that one flat on the table, and I used a lot of water on my brush because it would have just been pouring, dripping the whole time. Or you can do that same kind of technique with watercolor. Use some watercolors. I'm going to bring some more down here. Just kind of want to soften it out a little bit. But that's just me. But I'm liking that. And as you go, if you see something you're liking, keep doing it. Whew. All right, I'm gonna wipe my brush off. If your paper towel or your rag gets too messy, then get another one. Now, yeah, I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna get my brush wet again. I'm gonna clean it off this time. But this time I'm gonna make sure it's not so wet that I'm dripping down. That's the other thing is, when you're going from the bottom up, which you should, but if you get too wet, then it drips right onto it. So I'm going to pick up a little blue, and I'm going to pick up some yellow at the same time, because that makes green. And you can start your colors anywhere you want. You can see in this one, I didn't start my green till I got to my branches here. In this one, I didn't start my green until I got into my branches. So go by your own sense of what you like. Oh, you know what I decided? I'm going to also change the direction a little bit, see? So it's not.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, like that. I like the green. And as I said earlier, it's acrylic paint. So if you want it, there's a lot of changes you can make as you go along. Am I still in focus? Yes. I don't know what happened. I probably have somebody in the fan base that's technologically gifted. that can give me tips and hints, and I don't know. I gotta stop being so resistant to it as well. It'd go a lot better for me. Okay. I'm still remembering to go around the bottom. I mean the edges. So can you have me another paper towel, please? Perfect. Yeah, I really messed my paper towel up. Look, it's a piece of art. Look.
That's the best part.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I could. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's like a Rorschach test. What do you see?
Ink blot.
Yeah, the ink blot. Wow, very cool. See, I get distracted. ADD, you should have seen me in school. She's very intelligent. She just doesn't focus. She doesn't apply herself. Well, I wasn't interested in what you were trying to teach me. I was bored. Yeah, I'm bored. So you may need to change your water out by now. And the reason I say that is because I'm going back to the yellow. I've decided I want to do I want my yellow to go a little higher up. And I want my fade from one color to the next to be a little more blended. So that's what I'm doing. I guess I should say before.
Keeps them on their toes.
And you know what? See, I'm getting some dripping going on here because I keep, I'm using my brush so wet, but at the same time, I see some happening down here and I like it, so I'm not worried. Yeah, I do love acrylic paint. It's just forgiving. It dries quickly, so you're not left waiting and waiting before you can do anything. Like with oils, they take a long time to dry. But there's a lot of advantage to oil because of how much time they take to dry. You can play with them. You can blend them in a different way.
I always had a hard time with oils.
Yeah, I'm not big on it. There's certain things that I use it for, and I have a painting coming up that it's just going to require oil because I'm going to be painting directly on glass. Okay, now for my green, I mixed the blue and the yellow together to make the green. So I've cleaned my brush off, and that's because I went back to the yellow. Look, it's like I'm getting set. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'm almost wishing I had more dripping going on. I'm kind of liking it. So I'm going to pick up some blue, but this is such a dark blue. I'm going to pick up a little white as well. I just want it to be a little uh, lighter to begin with. And I'm going to follow the branch of that tree. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And don't worry if you go over onto the black because you're going to come back and clean that up at the end. Yeah, I love paint. Oh. Yeah, I had like a 30-year career doing interior painting for people doing specialty painting. They called it, still do, I guess, faux finish. And in faux finish, I did a lot of texture finishes, like with plaster. I did techniques like imitating wood grain or marble, granite, anything. I just did murals, all kinds of stuff. So I was actually thinking of starting a series of painting classes teaching some of those techniques. I'll be posting pictures of some of the work I've done. Then you can see if any of it is something you'd be interested in, because then you can paint on your own walls. I use these techniques in a lot of my art. It just kind of adds a whole different dimension to things. So I'm just playing on my plate here while I'm talking to you. But I picked up some more white and some more blue because now I'm just going to go and keep in the blues and go into purple towards the top. See? And like I said, don't worry about going over onto your branches because you'll be coming back and cleaning them up. Also, just a tip is rather than paint flat, you can get more paint on the bigger brush so the paint goes farther. But if you do it on its edge, then it kind of gives you a little more control over your line. And then once I do my edges like that, then I can come in with it flat and open. But look also, then I get these cool stripy lines. I just love that. It makes me happy. So I'm just playing more here, but I want this to blend a little better. So I just came back down here to play with it. That's another thing I love about painting like this. You can experiment. And you know, some of these canvases, I've painted over them 3 or 4 or 5 times. I don't buy new canvases for every painting. I've been teaching for years. What would I do with them all? So I paint over the ones that I've already done. I don't need to keep them all. Just be careful when you go next to your tree that your tree actually is dry. All right. I'm gonna start going into I'm gonna go into the more pure, darker blue. Look like that. I like that. It's pretty. And at any point while you're painting, if you decide you want other colors, that you don't want to do all your own blending, that's okay. Go get the other colors. Get an extra plate, though, so you're not crowding yourself. I just love the lines. Makes me think of the air, the wind, being able to see the air.
The movement.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah. Well, check your edges if you've made that commitment. All right. Now, do you know how to get purple?
Yellow, no, blue and red.
Yep, blue and red. So now, without cleaning my brush out, I've been just working with blue here. I'm gonna just go right in here. You see that? Doesn't look purple, but you'll see. It will. Mm-hmm. Pretty. See, I went right over that branch, and that's okay
Oh,
because,
yeah, when it dries, it's nice.
well, you can come back and repaint your branches. You know, you're not gonna, it's black, so one coat's not gonna make it disappear. You'll still see where it is. You can come back. Edges. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick up a little blue to play with in here. There we go. See? There we go. And I find when I'm painting that as I go along, I just kind of loosen up as I go. I love just letting the brush kind of find its own way. I love to think of nature, which is probably why I do a lot of paintings of trees and things, flowers and plants. It's because nature is so organic. Probably why I live in the country. Okay. Yay. See, I got a lot more purple in this painting than I do in the others. But I'm not done yet, too. You can always keep adjusting. I really hope that some of you will share your paintings with me. I'd love to see what you do. I really would. That's the hard part about doing it this way. I don't get to walk around and see your work.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. I really love seeing people. They'll come in and be hard on themselves, and they'll kind of start right off with, "Oh, I can't paint." That's like, that's okay. You know, we're just here to play. We're just gonna have some fun. And then by the end, they're often pretty surprised at what they just created.
That is the cool part.
I love seeing that transformation in how people view themselves. Some of those people have become my most regular people that come, you know. Once they get going, they just can't stop.
They're hooked. Yeah.
Hmm. That's why meditation goes with it so well. It's,
And then when you visualize, you see your different colors. It's all
yeah.
your own. It's no right and wrong. It's all whatever your information is. That's what it is.
There. This is good.
It's okay to go outside the lines. Oh wow.
Yeah. Huh. So, yeah, I'm gonna go down a little more over here. And I'll tell you, I don't always like things the first, but this one, all 4 versions I painted, I liked them all.
And each one is different.
Oh, and I'll tell you, in this painting, I just did this one yesterday, and I just had such a hard time with it. I redid this part like 3 times. I had to let it dry and paint over it. It wasn't working for me. And then I got this and I said, I'm gonna stop. Just stop. And that's the other thing with teaching these classes is, you know, I've done several that I really love, but I can't teach them because they're just too complicated. Not for you, but it would take too long, too many details. Just gets too busy. And so those I paint over them right away before I get tempted. Oh, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I could keep going on it. And I hope that when I'm done, you keep going on yours. But I'm gonna finish up here to show you. That way, for those of you who are really speedy or for whatever reason, maybe you're getting tired of me, I don't know. Then you can finish up. So I'm going back with the black and, you know, choose whatever brush that you're most comfortable with. And I'm going over it, get a second coat, because that's just how I want it. Yeah, I promise every one of these is going to get just better put together. You know, I got the painting part down, but like I said, it's that technology thing. But I'm determined. I'm gonna get this.
Persistence.
All right, so up here, I'm back to my little tiny brush for these smaller. And this is where I'm going to start adding more branches. It's just easier for the tinier branches to add them at the end and try to paint in between unless you really want a very stained glass look. I did that more on this one, for instance. But I guess on this I'm giving you just the faster, easier version. But I want you to know that just open yourselves up to any options. So as I go out, my branches get smaller. Yeah, getting into the zone.
Okay.
Yeah, when you do the meditation at the end, Marci, you have to show them your painting.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Oh, well, you don't have to,
Okay,
no. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool to share other paintings.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you did a great job. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I made a few boo-boos, and that's the best part, like fixing boo-boos is always, it's like it takes a life of its own.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna. Sometimes it's hard to know where you want another branch or if you want another branch.
Oh, I know.
I mean, at this point, though, you're kind of committed because you got your background. You can still fix things, but still, it's just not as easy. Oh, don't forget your water. My black paint's my brush is starting to drag. So you gotta add a little more water. You know, another thing is you can take your brush, get it wet, and kind of mix it right on your plate. Thin down your paint a little bit right on the plate,
Oh, yeah.
and then it'll go farther as well. Okay, nice. One thing, you know, like I said earlier, it just makes it a little more realistic is uh, where your branches split off from each other, just kind of round them out a little bit. The connection there. So it's just more organic. Let's see. Another thing, which I didn't say till now, but you should step back. Walk away. Just walk away for a minute. Just for a moment. Ooh, see, that's different than the last one. Yeah, totally different. See, now at this point, I start getting all tempted to keep playing with it. Can't help myself.
Don't touch it. But yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's just paint.
It's just, yeah, you can always change it later too.
My dad was an artist. I mean, some of his paintings had several paintings underneath. He says, just paint, you know? Paint over it. You can change it. I'm gonna
I need to let mine dry for a while.
There you go.
I got a lot of pain.
Oh, good. Some of the best things I've done is when I think I'm done and then I come back later. And, sometimes I've destroyed a piece of art. I got kind of bummed out about it. But not so much anymore. I can just go get another background, I mean, you can see some of the things I make. I'm a recycler, like I said earlier. That's a cabinet door, like for a bathroom cabinet. And then this is a piece from a 100-year-old big door, with like 5 panels. And with my skill saw, I cut the pieces, and all of these, I haven't spent money on any of these doors or cabinets. They're all on burn piles or sitting up against garages, and I just ask the people if I can have it. I used to have a Subaru Legacy, and I would just tie it on top of my car and bring it home. And then, how many doors and windows? I mean, before you start looking like a hoarder, or your yard starts attracting rats or something horrible like that. So I figured out what to do with them. That's what I do.
That's awesome.
So, ta-da! When you are done, I insist that you sign your work. My work, I've been signing as an artist since I was a kid, J. Raye, because my middle name is Raye, Jackey Raye, and my last name is Neyman. And then I got married for a number of years, and it's Jones. So now I have 4 names. And I'm known differently because of the different names. But anyway, with my art, I sign it J. Raye. Yeah, there it is. See? J. Raye. Look at this one. This is, in 2 weeks? Or no, less than. Yeah, I know. Wow.
Is that when you get to throw the white you speckle it on there?
Oh yeah, that one. You're gonna need a toothbrush. Preferably not your own. No, really, it's acrylic paint. Seriously, so you could use your toothbrush, but I would suggest washing it off right away. Okay, I am done here. I'm gonna have Marci take over again here. I feel like I thought I had paint on my face. So Marci's going to show her painting first, and then we're going to do a little meditation, and then I will say goodbye. This class so far has only taken 35 minutes. We got through it pretty quick. So I hope that you paused a lot because, I mean, it's the 4th time I've done it, and I've said that at least 4 times. So I kind of have this one down a bit. All right. Marci's turn.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know. This, like I said, it dripped a little bit. It takes a life of its own. I'm not sure how I came up with all this. Whoa. That's crazy. Yeah, a little drip on there, which I can fix later. That's the nice thing about painting is you can always fix it, especially acrylics, like she said. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, on the ending meditation, this is kind of a closeout. So yeah, I go through the same process, the same steps. So you want to sit comfortably in a chair. It's Americanized. We're not going to get yoga crazy positions because I can't get back out of those. But, feet flat on the floor. Your hands, not crossed, just sitting on your top of your legs. Take a nice big deep breath. Close your eyes. Oh, I had my head cut off. Oh, that's okay. I'm a little bit taller. So yeah, let's close our eyes, go to the center of our head, where those two lines meet. From the center of your head to the back of your head is the first line. Second line from one ear to the top of the other. Where those two lines meet is the center of your head, similar to your pineal gland. Visualize your gold ball of energy the size of a golf ball or walnut and breathe. Clearing your mind of all conversations and thoughts. You continue thinking, but you're making a space to calm your mind, your own highest gold energy. Allow that gold ball to expand, pushing out the noise and chatter of the day and the week, the month. Push out all those to-do lists, friends and family or otherwise. Allow that gold ball of energy to reach the edges of your head. And once that your own gold ball of energy has reached the edges of your head, allow it to reduce back down the size of a golf ball or walnut and breathe. You've just made a space for you, for right here, right now. And from the center of your head, acknowledge your grounding cord located at your first chakra, the base of your spine. Allow it to go through the chair, the floor, through the layers of the earth, locked to the center of the earth where your name is. Give it permission to be 6 to 8 inches in diameter. And with each breath, allow it to be straight and taut like a guitar string, straight up and down, grounding you to the center of the earth where your name is. And breathe. And from the center of your head, say hello to yourself again and call yourself back wherever you may have left yourself in the day, the week, the month. And say hello to yourself and notice how that feels. And validate yourself for the fun or the play that you had, the time that you made for you, right here, right now. And breathe. And one more thing from the center of your head. Visualize your aura, your first layer of aura. There's several, but we just do one because it's a short show. 18 inches above your head, below your feet, and all four sides. This is your own personal energy. And to give yourself a shell and to clarify or establish your aura, visualize a can of paint at the top of your aura on the outside, blue paint, and allow that blue paint to flow over the outside of you, above your head, below your feet, and all four sides, 18 inches. This gives you a shell where others can knock, but they can't come in. And setting your own boundaries. If you need to, give a little more attention to your feet, not just other people, but the energy, media, the things that go on in life. They try to unground you. But just give yourself a little more patting and give yourself permission to be grounded and centered. And validate yourself for the fun and the play and the work that you did for yourself. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And if you want to balance your energy, you can bend over and touch the ground by your feet or just your knees, whatever's comfortable. And breathe. And open your eyes at your own pace. And thank you.
Well, that was fun for me. Well, thank you for being here with me today. And yeah, we'll just keep going and we'll get better at it. And thank you. We'll see you next time.
Yay.
Bye.